The November 11 episode of General Hospital delivered one of those shocking moments that fans live for, the kind that turns the entire canvas of Port Charles upside down. After weeks of speculation, unexpected alliances, and courtroom chaos, one of the most controversial characters finally walked free. Yes, the mysterious spoiler everyone's been whispering about has been released from jail, and the fallout is bound to shake every corner of town. Let's dive into the twists, the tensions, and the tantalizing teases from today's episode that had fans tweeting in all caps. The prison door opens. The day began with a storm brewing, both outside Pentonville and within it. The camera followed a slow, tension-filled shot through the steel corridors as the guards escorted the soon-to-be-freed inmate down the hall. The click of the handcuffs being unlocked echoed like thunder. The character's release didn't come from a clean slate or moral redemption. It was power, influence, and a bit of manipulation that paved the way. Rumor has it that an insider pulled strings at the DA's office, and the whispers say that Sonny Corinthos himself may have had a quiet hand in it, though he'll never admit it publicly. When the doors finally opened, the person took one deep breath of freedom, and their eyes narrowed with purpose. Whoever they planned to visit first in Port Charles should brace for impact. Michael and Willow's tense morning. Over at the Quartermain mansion, Michael was still reeling from his argument with Nina the day before. His attempt to keep control of his family and his grudge was starting to crack. Willow, ever the voice of reason, reminded him that forgiveness might bring more peace than revenge, but Michael wasn't having it. "Forgiveness doesn't change what she did," he snapped, packing near the window. "It just makes me look weak." Willow's soft reply, "It makes you human," hung in the air. It was a quiet, emotional scene that balanced the intensity elsewhere in the episode. Still, Michael's stubbornness may come back to haunt him, especially once he learns who's been released from jail. Nina's morning of reckoning. Nina, meanwhile, was at Crimson trying to hold herself together. Her assistant mentioned the latest gossip, a big name getting out of Pentonville, and Nina froze. "Who?" she asked, though her voice betrayed that she already knew. The news hit her like a freight train. Her carefully constructed life was about to unravel again, and this time she couldn't blame Carly, Drew, or even Sonny. This was someone tied directly to her past, a connection that could expose secrets she'd buried deep. The episode didn't spell it out yet, but her reaction made it clear. Whoever just got out of jail wasn't just an old enemy. They were someone with unfinished business. Sonny's calculated calm. Over at his penthouse, Sonny Corinthos was the picture of controlled intensity. Brick delivered the news first. "They're out!" Sonny barely reacted, only setting his drink down and murmuring, "I figured it was coming." But beneath that calm was strategy. Sonny knew the move would ripple through town and through his family. His expression hardened as he muttered, "If they come for me, I'll be ready." Later, Dex entered, clearly uneasy. "Boss, are we supposed to let this play out or handle it?" Sonny's reply was classic Corinthos. "Sometimes the best move is to wait. They'll show their hand soon enough." That single line told us everything. Sonny knows more than he's saying, and when he finally makes his move, it'll hit hard. Anna faces a familiar ghost. Across town, Anna Devane was reading over a case file when Robert Scorpio rushed in with the update. "They're out, Anna. The release is official." The camera lingered on Anna's face, that perfect blend of dread and determination that Finola Hughes always nails. "Then this isn't over," she said, closing the file slowly. "It's just beginning." For longtime viewers, this moment carried serious weight. Anna's complicated history with this person, part guilt, part vengeance, means that their freedom could drag her right back into the shadows she's been trying to escape. Rumors suggest this might tie back to the long-dormant WSB storyline, hinting that Anna's past with the organization is about to come roaring back. Drew's redemption arc continues. Meanwhile, Drew's return home after his own time behind bars has been one of the show's more redemptive arcs. But today, as he learned someone else had been released, the irony wasn't lost on him. He shared a quiet scene with Carly, reflecting on how much prison had changed him. "When you walk out of that place," he said softly, "you tell yourself you're free, but the truth is, freedom doesn't feel real until you earn it." It was one of those powerful GH moments that blended theme and emotion beautifully, a reminder that release doesn't equal redemption. And for the newly freed character, that truth may soon come crashing down. The shocking encounter. The episode's final 10 minutes delivered the gut punch everyone was waiting for. The newly released person arrived at the Metro court, dressed in civilian clothes, their face half hidden by a cap. The camera followed them through the lobby until they stopped in front of the bar, and there, sitting with a drink in hand, was the last person they expected to see. "Hello, old friend," they said, voice low but unmistakable. The person at the bar turned, eyes wide with disbelief, and viewers got the reveal they'd been teased with all week. The music swelled, the screen cut to black, and the General Hospital logo appeared. Cue the fan theories and social media explosion. What happens next? Tomorrow's episode promises to explore the fallout from the release and the confrontation that's sure to follow. If the spoilers hold true, this freedom won't last long. Someone in Port Charles is already plotting payback. Speculation is wild about who this mystery release could truly be. Some fans believe it's Cyrus Renault, back to stir chaos under a new guise. Others think it's a wild twist involving Nicolas Cassadine, ready to reclaim everything he's lost. And a few even whisper that it might be a surprise return from a supposedly dead character, because in Port Charles, death is rarely permanent. One thing's certain. The November 11 episode has reignited the kind of tension that makes General Hospital impossible to miss. Every look, every secret, every whispered threat, it's all leading to a storm that could engulf everyone from Sunny to Nina to Anna. Final thoughts. General Hospital's November 11 recap wasn't just another day in Port Charles. It was a turning point, the moment a familiar face stepped back into the spotlight and reignited old wars. Freedom on this show is never simple. It's a weapon, a burden, and sometimes a curse. As the newly released character breathes in the air of Port Charles once again, one thing is clear: they didn't come back for peace. They came back for payback. And if today's cliffhanger is any indication, General Hospital is just getting started.